I have traveled across many countries, but India feels different already. Because India is not just one country, it's hundreds of worlds existing together. A country full of contradictions, challenges, surprises, and endless possibilities. I am embarking on an extraordinary journey across the Indian landscape to experience the real India beyond stereotypes. This magnificent journey will take me thousands of kilometers across mountains, beaches, megacities, and countryside of India. So sit back and relax as I take you on a magical tour of India, starting with Seven Sisters of Northeast to God's own country down south, with some popular Hindi songs playing in the background.
खुश रहो अहले वतन, हो हम तो सफर करते हैं, राह पे रहते हैं, यादों पे बसर करते हैं। खुश रहो अहले वतन, हो हम तो सफर करते हैं। चल गए जो धूप में तो छाया हो गए, जल गए जो धूप में तो छाया हो गए। आसमां का कोई कोना थोड़ा सो गए, जो गुजर बस हो उस पे गुजर करते हैं, राह पे रहते हैं, यादों पे बसर करते हैं। खुश रहो अहले वतन, हो हम तो सफर करते हैं। करते हैं, राह पे रहते हैं, यादों पे बसर करते हैं। खुश रहो अहले वतन, हो हम तो सफर करते हैं। ऐसे हम ठहर जाए जहाँ हो उसको शहर करते हैं, राह पे रहते हैं, यादों पे बसर करते हैं। खुश रहो अहले वतन, हो हम तो सफर करते हैं।
There are places on earth that command admiration, and then there are places that inspire reverence. The Himalayas of Uttarakhand belong to the latter. Uttarakhand Himalayas have witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. They have guided pilgrims, sheltered saints, nourished rivers, and shaped the spiritual imagination of millions. To many, they are simply majestic peaks. To India, they are sacred. Yet beneath this breathtaking beauty lies an ecosystem of extraordinary fragility. The rocks beneath these mountain slopes are still rising, folding and shifting under immense geological forces. Their steep terrain is vulnerable to erosion, landslides, and earthquakes. What happens in these mountains ultimately affects hundreds of millions of people living far downstream. The health of the Himalayas is inseparable from the health of the plains. I am with a native of Uttarakhand who has spent a major part of his life in the region. An avid trekker, he knows the topography of the Uttarakhand landscape well. The landscape looks absolutely magnificent, the snow-covered meadows and forests. It certainly looks pristine, but appearances can be deceptive. The Uttarakhand Himalayas are undergoing profound ecological changes due to climate change. What are the most visible signs? The glaciers are retreating. Rivers and their tributaries are shrinking faster than before. That sounds serious for both people and agriculture. It is. Any ecological disruption here affects communities far beyond the mountains. What about snowfall? Looking around, there seems to be plenty. Some years still receive heavy snowfall. But overall, snowfall patterns have become unpredictable. Snow arrives later and melts earlier now. Mountain animal species and even insects are moving to higher elevations searching for cooler habitats. That's a clear sign of climate change. Exactly, we must act now. Rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns have increased the risk of forest fires. Uttarakhand has witnessed more frequent and intense fire seasons in recent years. That's one of the greatest concerns for mountain biodiversity. What impact does climate change have on local communities of Uttarakhand? Farmers are struggling with changing weather patterns. Traditional crops sometimes fail because rainfall no longer arrives when expected. Agriculture, tourism, and water availability are all interconnected. When climate patterns become unstable, local economies suffer. Extreme rainfall events have increased in frequency, making the mountain slopes fragile, and that threatens roads, homes, and infrastructure. That must be emotionally devastating for families who have lived here for generations. It is. People have deep cultural and spiritual connections to these mountains. Losing one's ancestral home is more than an economic loss. A powerful reminder that protecting the Himalayas is not only about preserving breathtaking scenery, it is about safeguarding water, biodiversity, and the lives of millions. The story of the Uttarakhand Himalayas is ultimately the story of our relationship with nature. If we protect these mountains, they will continue to sustain future generations.